All right. Good morning, Chair Postman, board members, and staff. Lobby is open. Recording has begun.
Great. Thank you, Dustin. Good morning, everybody. This is the Liquor and Cannabis Board Caucus meeting for Tuesday, October 12th, 2021. I'm David Postman, the board chair. With me are members Ollie Garrett and Russ Hauge. The first time on our agenda was approval of minutes. We're going to postpone that to a future meeting. We didn't quite get those done. And then moves us to the second item, which is the marijuana compact presentation and consideration for the Cowlitz Indian tribe. And I will ask Chris Thompson, our Director of Legislative Relations and Tribal Relations, to come and present this to us.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, board members Hauge and Garrett. This is Chris Thompson before you this morning in my capacity as Tribal Liaison for the agency. Before you today for action is the proposed Cannabis Compact with the Cowlitz tribe and the state of Washington. The tribal chair, David Barnett, was not able to be with us today. But the tribe is eager to get their program started, and they were, at their request, we scheduled this meeting at the soonest available opportunity to get our board members together for consideration of this item. So Mr. Barnett will not be joining us. And Chris Massey was the attorney that worked with the tribe. I also indicated to her that it was not necessary to attend and say any words. So we won't have that element that we usually have as part of action items on tribal compacts. So I'll briefly share a couple of points. Nothing very detailed. In general, the proposed compact is largely aligned with compacts that have previously been approved. There were a few areas where we had a little more discussion, both at the Tribal Compact team and in additional meetings. In some cases, the tribe had a request that the state was able to agree to, and in others, the state had a request that the tribe agreed to. So there was some give and take. Neither party got everything they wanted in this final agreement. So that sounds to me like a pretty genuine negotiated compromise. As one example, the tribe wanted language in the compact that would automatically authorize drive-through service at their retail store if state law were to change, allowing drive-through service at state licensed stores. So we agreed to that request. On the other side, the state had a pretty firm position on the scope of what products could be exempt from the tribal tax under both the compact and the tribal ordinance. And while the tribe disagreed in principle on that position that the state has taken, they did somewhat reluctantly decided to accept the state request on that issue in the interest of moving ahead. So the compact before you also includes an MOA that the tribe negotiated and completed with the Department of Health for their medical cannabis program. This proposal has been reviewed by both the Department of Revenue as well as the governor's office. Without any concerns from those offices, I think that's brought us here today, and we're here to recommend approval by the board. I'll try and answer questions if you have any.
Member Hauge is our representative on the compact team. Anything to add?
No, thank you. Chris has accurately represented the state of the negotiations. I was not involved every step of the way, but attended a few of the meetings, and this was marked by, I think, real good, solid sharing of different perspectives, and as Chris said, compromise. This is a good piece of work. I'm just sorry it took so long for us to get it finally approved.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, it does seem to be a good example of true government to government negotiation, but that doesn't make it easy or short, as we know. But it appears that we got to a good place, and I appreciate the tribe's commitment to working with us on this, and Chris, you and your team's ability to keep this moving. I look forward to signing it and having it done. If there are no other questions or comments from the board, then I would entertain a motion to adopt the Cowlitz Indian Tribe marijuana compact between the tribe and the state of Washington.
I would move that we adopt the compact with the Cowlitz tribe as presented.
This is Ali. I second.
Great, then that is adopted unanimously. Thank you, and thank you, Chris. Appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
We will now move to rules petition review and consideration. This is creating new rules for allowing liquor licensees to rent out kitchen space, and Audrey Vasek, the Alcohol Policy and Rules Coordinator, will present. Good morning.
Good morning, Chair Postman, board members Garrett and Hauge. Thanks for the opportunity to be here today and present the staff recommendation on the rule petition related to liquor licensee kitchen rentals. So for background, the board received this rule petition on August 17th, 2021 from Katie Doyle of the Washington Hospitality Association. Ms. Doyle proposes creating a new rule to allow liquor licensees with kitchens to rent out their kitchen space to food establishment businesses for the purposes of food preparation and cooking. An allowance with the same parameters as the one proposed by Ms. Doyle in the rule petition was originally approved by the agency in mid-2020 as a temporary COVID-19 allowance and expired on July 31st, 2021. This allowance contained a number of parameters, including a requirement that liquor licensees interested in renting out their kitchens submit a business agreement or contract to the LCB licensing division prior to execution of the business agreement or contract. Some of the other parameters for the allowance included the following. The renter must not have ownership interest in any liquor license business. The renter must take the final food product to go and is not allowed to serve customers in the liquor license business. The renter must cook and prepare food outside of the public service hours of the liquor licensee. The liquor licensee must secure or remove alcohol during the hours that the renter is cooking and preparing food. And the renter and liquor licensee must have a standard operating contract that excludes any profit sharing between the liquor licensee and the renter. So again, those were the main parameters in the rental kitchen COVID-19 allowance that expired on July 31st. And those parameters are also the same as the ones proposed in the rule petition by Ms. Doyle. So the issue presented by this petition is whether the board should initiate rulemaking to consider creating a new rule allowing liquor licensees with kitchens to rent out their kitchen space under the parameters of the allowance. Taking a look at existing LCB rules, the exclusive rights provision in current rule WAC 31407-020 prohibits the activity allowed by the rental kitchen allowance. Under subsection 7 of WAC 31407-020, licensees are required to have exclusive rights to all of the real and personal property on the premises. So this means that spaces such as kitchens cannot generally be shared with other business entities unless an exception applies. The exclusive rights provision is designed to address public safety concerns related to commingling of alcohol products or property among multiple entities and concerns related to accountability for potential violations in shared spaces. The parameters provided in the rental kitchen allowance are designed to address those public safety concerns. Although the board has rulemaking authority to amend the exclusive rights provision and create a new rule section allowing liquor licensees to rent out their kitchen space, initiating rulemaking at this time may be premature. During the period of time that the allowance was available between mid-2020 and July 2021, no licensees applied for the allowance despite the fact that applications to the licensing division were required. Additionally, agency staff are not aware of any cases or specific examples of licensees that rented out or sought to rent out their kitchen space to food establishment businesses. Given that the level of given that the level of licensee interest in this allowance does not appear to be high, rather than initiate rulemaking now, it may make more sense to renew the rental kitchen allowance for a reasonable periods, such as for 6 months or until April 15th, 2022, and reevaluate at that point whether to initiate rulemaking. Renewing the allowance and providing licensees with another opportunity to rent out their kitchen space will temporarily address Ms. Doyle's concerns while allowing the agency to gauge the level of licensee interest in the allowance and gather data on whether the parameters need any adjustment. We hope that licensees interested in the allowance will come forward and submit applications so we can determine if rulemaking is needed before initiating a new project. For these reasons, agency staff recommend the board deny the rule petition today and consider alternative means to address Ms. Doyle's concerns by renewing the kitchen allowance until April 15th, 2022, and reevaluating whether it'd be appropriate to renew or initiate rulemaking at the end of that period. That concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Board questions or comments? Okay, then, yeah, we'll take a motion to deny the rules petition that we've been presented with, and instead renew the allowance until, tell me that date again, Ms. Vasek, I'm sorry.
April 15th, 2022.
April 15th, 2022.
This is Ali. I move that we approve the denial of the petition.
And this is Russ. I second that motion.
Okay, and that is approved. And thanks, Ms. Vasek. And I would just underline what you just said. We really encourage licensees to come forward if this is something that is useful. We understand some have been doing it without coming to us, and makes it difficult for us to judge the importance of it and how it's running. So over this next period of the allowance, I really hope if there are people looking to this, and I will say, I think it's a potentially very useful thing for small, entrepreneurs of very small businesses, micro businesses and the such. And so I hope people will take advantage of this and engage with the agency in the way that we can then judge this mid next year. Now we have other board meeting prep and rules updates, and I will turn it over to Kathy Hoffman, the Policy and Rules Manager, to manage this next part of the meeting.
Great, thanks, Chair Postman. Good morning, board members Garrett and Hauge. I'll start with prep for what I'm presenting to the board tomorrow. Then I'll hand it over to Jeff Kildall for update on other cannabis rules, and then Jeff can hand it over to Audrey to update on alcohol rules. So first thing to prep on is the CR 102 I'll be presenting tomorrow concerning THC compounds, evaluation of THC compounds, I should say. A lot of work has gone into this. I think just to recap, this is part of the iterative process, iterative approach, I should say, that we took to addressing some of the concerns that we have around THC compounds, such as hemp-derived Delta-8, Delta-9, and so forth. The proposal provides a new section of rule that gives the board a framework to evaluate additive solvents, ingredients, or compounds used in the production of marijuana products. The rule package was pretty comprehensive, gave you a lot of information about our listen and learn session that was held on September 9th. Made reference to the 2 deliberative dialogue sessions that we hosted on in June and July of last summer, and then provides chats from the listen and learn session, some of the feedback we received. So any question on that before next piece?
Seeing none, no, thank you. Great.
All right, thanks for that. And then the next thing I'll be bringing to the board tomorrow are 4 additional rescissions of board and interim policies. Not going to dive deeply into those, but suffice it to say that all 4 of those policies, board interim policies, were realized in rule in 2017 and 2018. So the substantive pieces of those policies, again, they're in rule. So just asking that they be rescinded tomorrow. Questions on those? Okay.
Nope, looking forward to that.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll hand it over to Jeff.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Postman and board members Garrett and Hauge. I have only one rules update for today, and that is regarding the Cannabis Quality Control Rules Project. For the Cannabis Quality Control Rules Project, we have scheduled a listen and learn forum for the afternoon of Wednesday, October 20th from 1 to 4 p.m. Messaging for this listen and learn session went out last week on October 6th via Gov Delivery. So far, we have received no pre-session feedback on the conceptual draft rules that were offered with the messaging. And we remain on track to bring a CR 102 package to you on December 8th, 2021. And this concludes my update for today. And may I answer any questions?
No, just would take a second to encourage people to participate and come to listen and learn and submit whatever thoughts they have. So thanks, Mr. Kildall.
Right. Thank you, Chair Postman.
So good morning again, board members. So I have a couple brief updates on the alcohol rulemaking projects. And before I jump in, I also just want to share, this will be my last caucus meeting before I go on parental leave starting next week. So beginning with the next board caucus meeting, Robert Despain will be stepping in and providing the updates on the alcohol side. So for today, though, the rule project related to axe throwing at liquor license premises, the CR 101, launching this project was filed with the code revisor on September 29th after the last board meeting. And information on the project and how to provide comment was sent out to Gov Delivery subscribers and is available on the LCB webpage. As published in the notice to stakeholders, the initial comment period is currently open until November 19th, and we've received one comment via email so far. The LCB internal rule drafting team will meet throughout October and early November to develop conceptual draft rules and consider any comments we receive. The first internal meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, and our goal is to have conceptual draft rules ready for at least one listen and learn session in mid-November. So we're in the earliest phase of the rule development at this point, and the timeline is still tentative. Depending on the public feedback we receive, we anticipate a CR 102 might be ready in January or February at the earliest. For the rule project to implement 2021 legislation, House Bill 1480 related to COVID-19 alcohol allowances, the CR 102 and proposed rules were filed with the code revisor at the last board meeting on September 29th, and the public hearing is set for the board meeting on November 10th. The formal public comment period is now open. We haven't received any comments so far. After the public hearing, the formal comment period will close, and the internal rule drafting team will review and consider the comments. If no substantive changes need to be made to the proposed rules, we anticipate filing the CR 103 and final rules on December 8th. If filed on that date, the rules would go into effect 31 days later, or January 8th, 2022. So that concludes my presentation, and if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
No, just wish you all the luck in the world, and looking forward to seeing photos and then having you return to us when you're ready. So best of luck and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Are there any more rules update or board prep? Seeing none. Okay. We'll move to our last agenda item, which is board member and executive assistant reports. Check with Dustin first. Dustin Dixon, anything from you?
Good morning, Chair. Nothing additional from me. Thank you.
Okay, great. Anything from board members, Hauge or Garrett?
Nothing from me.
No, nothing from me. Thank you very much.
Great. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Thanks, staff, for the presentation. We will have a board meeting tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and then we have our executive management team meeting at 1:30 in the afternoon. So I am sure we'll see some of you then. Thank you. We now will adjourn the board caucus meeting for October 12th, 2021. Have a nice day.